Hello everyone, welcome to another FPV Inside Look. Today we're going to be checking out, you guessed it, Foxeer cameras. And I'm going to be showing you my favorite 3 cameras from Foxeer. Whether you're racing, freestyle, or cinematic, I believe one of these 3 cameras will fit your criteria. So, let's take a look. Before I break down these cameras, we gotta explain 3 things, and that is the sensor, TVL, and lux. If you look at a sensor, pretend it's a picture in a camera. That is what is actually gonna grab the image. Now a smaller sensor can't grab as much detail as a larger sensor, so a larger sensor is gonna perform better and give you a better image. The next item is TVL. TVL stands for television lines, and it's basically on that sensor how many rows of pixels it has. So more TVL generally is better because it can again capture more data. Now more data is good, but it can also be bad for our latency or our lag. The last thing for these cameras is the lux rating, and the lux is a rating of how much visible light the camera can see and still display a proper image. Now that we have that cleared up, right now we're going to talk about the Foxeer V3 and the Toothless V2. Both of these cameras have 1200 TVL. The difference is the sensor. The sensor on the Toothless is a 1/2 inch sensor, and the sensor on the Foxeer is a 1/3 sensor. Having a smaller sensor brings the latency or lag down on this camera really low to about 6 milliseconds, which is great for FPV. If you're a racer and that latency is really important for you, or you're a really fast freestyle pilot, you may want to consider the Foxeer. However, I personally run the Toothless on most of my drones because it has a little bit of a brighter display and better contrast in the colors. For recording DVR, which is what I really enjoy, I use my Orca goggles and I get a really crisp display. But both cameras are performing absolutely amazing, and I think you'll see from the DVR footage just that. Now that you've seen the Foxeer and the Toothless, I'd like to show you the TRex camera from Foxeer. This camera has a 2 megapixel sensor, 1500 TVL, and still has the 6 millisecond latency that the Foxeer has. You would think it has the best of both worlds, but there is a trade-off, and that's with the price and the low light sensitivity. The lux rating on the TRex is only at 0.001, whereas the Foxeer and the Toothless is at 0.001. That extra decimal actually does a lot in the ways of the image that you can see at night when flying. Now if you're somebody that does happen to fly a lot at night, I would actually recommend the Foxeer Cat camera. And this one has 1 more decimal in that lux rating, and from what I've seen it has a great low light sensitivity, but unfortunately I never really fly at night and I don't have one to compare for you. Now obviously all these cameras have their trade-off. You can go with the great image quality, but you'll suffer with the price and the low light capabilities. You can compromise and get the Toothless, which is a lot cheaper and still has good image quality, but if racing's your thing, you may want the Foxeer for the low latency. Whatever you may choose, hopefully I've provided enough information for you to choose the next best analog camera for your drone, whether it's with Foxeer or one of those other companies. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below on what cameras you enjoy, or if you have a question, I'd be happy to try and answer it for you. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at NorCal Drones, and please make sure you subscribe. Till next time, keep ripping packs.